What is going on? What is up with everyone? So, today I want to talk about what's going on in the world right now. I know there's been a lot of, touchy subject in the media as well as just entertainment stuff like the whole Diddy situation. But also, I'm going to wait until a few more people come in. So, what are you guys up to today? Happy Monday. I just posted a video about the power of the sun and how you can use the days of the week to manifest what you want into your life. But this is a bit more, on a more serious subject. I want to cover what's going on in the world right now because we cannot hide the fact that there's something serious going on in the ethers and the spirit world and the physical world as well, because a lot of people have been like dropping like flies. Have you guys noticed it? Because I have. And I noticed that since the whole eclipse happened, I'm gonna wait until a few more people come on, but I'm just going to touch up on some things here and there. Ever since the eclipse happened, there's been a shift in the planet. There's been a shift, a huge, huge shift that's been happening. And some people notice it, some people don't. And it's okay because everybody's at a different level right now. Everybody's experiencing the world, the shifting of the energy differently. So you're going to experience it at different times. And I was actually having a conversation with one of my girlfriends over our little vacation that we went on. And I realized that I'm not the only one who feels this way. A lot of other people feels this way about, the shift that's have been happening. A lot of people have had their awakening, like their moment of awakening during 2020. And either 2020 or 2021, 2022 area, around that time. But definitely a lot of people have been getting a lot of different new downloads or being in touch with who they really are, right? But we also cannot ignore the whole fact that the world is there's something going on. It's not like it used to be before 2021. Obviously it's not going to be the same because we're a couple years in advance, right? But we cannot ignore the fact that people have been dropping like flies. I mean, children, older people, middle-aged people all over the world, and there's no color associated with it. It's just any and everybody. And in my opinion, I know there's not many people on live right now, but this is not going to be a long live. So whenever you catch this live, let me know your opinion in the comment section, because in my opinion, there's something serious going on with the weather. First of all, I talk about HARP, how they can manipulate the energy of the weather, manipulate the weather. And it's been proven, it's been said by people who does that in videos, documentaries, all of that. But I noticed that ever since the eclipse happened, there's been a shift in the planet, and people are just like dropping like flies. And those are people like I knew probably weren't, well, I didn't know that they were sick. They were just healthy people, and they just wake up one day and, well, they didn't wake up. That's what it was. And it's not funny. It's not funny because that's someone's life. But then again, once you understand the once you understand life and death and all that, you don't really necessarily moan in the you allow this person to pass with peace, because it's just part of life. It's just what it is. It's just part of life. But when you know someone who just suddenly just passed out of nowhere, as like someone who was young, back in the days, people would die. People would die. Don't get me wrong. People still dies. It's just part of life. But people were not dying at such a young age. People were not just like, just dying in their sleep. Because I know so many people just this year alone who have just died in their sleep, or they had a random heart attack or OD. So for example, with me, I feel like there's definitely something, a portal or something that has been opened up since. Now I don't want to talk too much about that because you know how YouTube is real sensitive. But there's definitely been something that's open that is speeding up the process of death. Okay, speeding up the process of death, speeding up the process. So for example, if you already been sick, if you've been sick and you have this illness that you've been battling with, I feel like it's just speeding it up. And also, like, accidents are happening more frequently than before. Just natural disasters are happening, quote unquote natural disasters, accidents. So if you're like someone who does substance, and not to scare anyone. I just want y'all to know I'm not here to scare you. It's just that I'm stating the obvious, like what I've been seeing. If you are someone who do drugs, it can speed up the process of like you get ODing, right? Or if you're someone who have like a terminal illness, then speed up the process of you dying. And don't get me wrong, I do believe in the whole, portals being open, different stuff are happening in the world that affects different people differently. Just like when the Lionsgate portal happened, I think there was something going on that day of the Lionsgate portal, but particularly on the eclipse, the day of the eclipse, I know something happened because my energy shift, like I felt differently after the eclipse happened. Granted, I did do like a cleansing and I did, some spiritual work and stuff, but I know how I usually feel. I know the difference between the work that I did to make me feel a certain way after the work is done versus like something that's completely different, and I've noticed that in a lot of people. And ever since the eclipse happened, even before the eclipse, like the day of, I just felt like this heavy energy of things that were going to happen. And then after the eclipse happened, I noticed that a lot of things have happened, and I've lost a lot of friends, family, close people that I knew after the eclipse happened. So there's definitely something. And if I'm going back as far as like 2020, after, the C-19 happened, definitely a lot more people that I've known just randomly gone out of nowhere. And my thing is, I do feel like there's something that's been open. There's a portal or some sort of energy shift that had happened since this whole situation happened. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't feel that way. Maybe I'm just the only crazy one. But working in a hospital, when it came to like the whole C-19 situation, I got so used to like death and people dying that it became a normal thing. And then it was like this whole wave of a lot of people passing, and then it stopped until the eclipse happened, and then it picked back up as if like we were in the C-19 situation all over again. But of course, we weren't dealing with all the craziness that was happening. But we definitely see the peak in death during the C-19, and then it stopped a little bit, and then peaked in death again after the eclipse happened. And before, it was just like patients that you're taking care of that were passing because of this thing. But now it's like people who are around you that is happening to, like people in your real life, in your everyday life, that is happening to. I think I just heard something about a little boy. Granted, things happen all the time, accidents happen all the time, but it's just a little bit extra now. Over the weekend, this little boy, apparently he was playing in his in the backyard of his house. That was like 2 weekends ago, and a tree fell on the little boy and he died. A tree, like, I know it's been like really really windy, but a whole tree fell on the little boy. Can you imagine like watching your kid playing in the backyard and a whole tree fell on this kid? Like, that's crazy. And accidents, people just not waking up. I know someone that their dad went on vacation, and the first day of their vacation, they went to sleep and they didn't wake up. I know somebody else that went to sleep and didn't wake up. And those people, and I know someone else who also had, well, actually 4 people I knew that had like internal like sickness, and out of nowhere they went from being okay to it came back, and then within like a few days, like 2 to 3 days, they were gone. Like, what, how do you go from like the doctor telling you, oh, you beat this thing, you're good, everything is fine, and to like a few days later, oh, it came back, and guess what, you only have a day left. That's crazy. That's crazy. But anyways, guys, that's my little take on that. I told you guys it wasn't going to be a long video, because honestly, even though like my videos go live every single day, I don't work on Mondays. But this came into my head, and I was like, you know what, I gotta share this with them. I'm not sure if it's, if other people feel the same way, but I definitely feel the same way. And with this channel being my channel, I like to share the things that I find to be interesting, and or that I find like a video that I find that's pretty cool, or I think kind of confirm the things that I've been thinking about. I want to share with you guys. So that is the reason why I come on here and do like a 10-minute live video. But that's all I want to say. Let me know if you guys are experiencing the same thing, or if you have seen people or known people who just abruptly like And I believe too, before I go, I believe too it's only going to get worse. And don't get scared over what I'm saying, or it's not to make you feel afraid or anything, but I believe later on next year, end of this year and more of next year, probably going to stop towards like the middle of next year, who knows, but it's going to happen again. It's going to continue to happen. It's probably going to happen in more like bigger quantity, and it's going to affect like younger people as well. I don't know why, but it's going to affect older people, younger people, and people in like big groups. So just be careful, eat as healthy as you can, try to stay as healthy as you can, do whatever you can do to help yourself be on a higher frequency. Because if what I'm saying, if there's a portal that's open that is affecting people, maybe if your energy is low, your vibration is low, because eating meat lowers your vibration, different things that you consume lower your vibration, music that you listen to lower your vibration. And if we are energy and we are connected to the universe and the planets and everything, then if there's something or a portal that is open, people might say, oh, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in this stuff, but they will always recognize 1111 on the clock, which also, is an angel number. Or, whenever they have a portal, a Lionsgate portal or whatever, they recognize that as a portal. But then when you talk about there's a portal that's open that is affecting people, people look at you like you're crazy. But you believe in these other portals that are open, So if you think that CERN is something that can be affecting people, I don't know. Don't come for me. But I do think there's some going on with CERN, because things have been happening ever since the whole CERN project started. Finding the God particle and all that stuff. And also, I also believe that karma is taking over. The Earth, Mother Earth, is taking over, especially with all these earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes that's been happening. The pendulum have to swing back. Whatever you do, you have to get consequences for it. That's what it is. If you're playing with the weather, you're trying to play God with the weather, obviously it's going to eventually, Mother Nature is going to start taking effect. It's going to start reacting, because that's not natural. You're not supposed to be playing with the weather, but that's what we do. It's just, we're learning to figure out how to do things differently. So now we're starting stuff, because if a wave happened in Japan, it's going to eventually come to the United States, because the butterfly effect kind of thing, right? Not like an actual wave, but the butterfly effect. So it's going to come back, or karma, the pendulum have to swing back. All of these things are happening because we're playing with the planet. We're destroying the planet. And if we're opening up portals and doing all these crazy things, then obviously it's going to affect the planet. So yeah, I do think there's something going on. There's something serious going on, and it's affecting the death rate. Let me know, guys. Maybe I'm tripping, but do you remember that many people dying all the time like this? It just feels like, yes, we only know about the celebrities that are dying because they're in the limelight, but you don't know about your neighbors or people who are just out on the streets, who have people dying a lot more often than they're used to. And for someone who work in the medical field in the hospital, I see it all the time. But then it was never that close to home. I remember going to a funeral maybe like every 10 or 12 years, like 10 or 12 years. But nowadays I feel like every other weekend someone is inviting you to a funeral, although I don't really like going to funerals like that unless like a close family, because I pick up on too much energy, and to me it's just overwhelming. But all of a sudden now it's like every other weekend someone is inviting you or telling you that they had a death, or you went to the funeral. Not saying it's necessary to go, but I didn't used to go to funerals or get invited to funerals that often. It would be like 10 every 10 years, every 13 years, or some crazy number like that. But it's never like, oh, every week, or every year, or every 3 months. It's never been that way. except for like recently, since C-19 started, all of a sudden now everybody is having a funeral. Anyways, guys, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you're having a lovely Monday. Please enjoy that video that I post about Mondays and the days of the week and how it connects with you and how you can actually use the sun and the moon to manifest your life. And don't mind all the things in the back. I'm actually moving. So I'm packing. There's all boxes behind me. So, you know, we still got to work. Although I'm moving, we still got to work. So I cannot stop recording and stop making videos because I'm moving, because I know my subscribers are waiting on me to post videos. So that's why I have all these things in the back, so don't mind them. But anyways, guys, that's my whole take on that. Let me know if you've been experiencing a lot of deaths and, you know, natural disasters happening and all that stuff around you. I live in Florida, so this is like a thing. It's been happening. I mean, we've had hurricanes back to back. We recently, in the town where I'm from, we've always had like tornado sound sirens, but we never actually have tornadoes until the last hurricane, where they had so many tornadoes happen all at once. People were figuring out like, we've never experienced it before, although we do have the way to prepare for tornadoes, but we've never experienced it before. So it was completely scary and new to everybody. And I'm just like, since when do we have tornadoes in Florida and Port St. Lucie? That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, guys, okay, I know I already said bye before. Bye this time. Bye. Okay, how do I end this?